Alrighty. We are starting the live stream, and hopefully this is going now. I'm just making sure that everything is all good for our weekly live stream. Yep, it looks like we're good. So what's going on now is it's our Wednesday live stream. I'm Huzaifa, of course, and we are continuing with the Khan Academy SAT full-length practice test. Now, again, at the request of one of the viewers on my YouTube channel, I'm jumping ahead to practice test 7, so that's where we're picking up with today. And as you can see with the setup here, we've got up top, this is where you're going to see the questions, this is where you're going to see my work over here with my whiteboard using my Wacom tablet. And I am actually seeing these questions for the first time. So that's always part of the fun. I always try and make that the case. Sometimes I've had some mishaps where I had to redo it, but not today. So we're definitely seeing these for the first time. So without further ado, let's begin. Under time conditions, this is the calculator section, which means we have 38 questions in 55 minutes. Practice test 7. And let's begin. Hopefully I can, it's a big enough space. All right, cool. Feeding of information. The table above shows the kinds of food that are fed to cats and dogs currently boarded at a pet care facility. What fraction of the dogs are fed only dry food? Fraction of dogs are fed only. So dogs, we have a total of 25, and we have only, so it's 2 out of 25 would be the fraction. And I feel pretty comfortable with that. We'll review that one at the end if we have time. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to the one above? I'll tell you straight off the bat, we don't have to look at the answers. We can just simplify. So we're going to combine like terms. Look at what I'm going to do here. Let's make this smaller. I'm going to say x squared minus 3. We're going to remove the parentheses, but distribute that negative so it becomes positive 3x squared minus 5, right? That negative pops over here and here. And then these guys combine and these guys combine. This becomes 4x squared. That's a negative 3 and a negative 5 makes it negative 8. And that's A. Cool. Question number 3. A certain package requires 3 centimeters of tape to be closed securely. What is the maximum number of packages of this type that can be secured with 6 meters of tape? So 6 meters, which is 6,000 centimeters, and that should be 2,000, right? We divide this by 3, and it should be 2,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I made a total mistake there. That is not right. 6 centimeters. There's 100 centimeters. So actually 6 meters is 60 decameters, 600 centimeters. So divide that by 3 and it's 200. My bad. Totally we're off there by a 0. Yeah. All right, next. A market researcher selected 200 people at random from a group of people who indicated that they like a certain book. The 200 were shown a movie based on the book and then asked whether they liked or disliked the movie. So they all liked the book, and then of that survey, 95% disliked the movie. Which of the following inferences can appropriately be drawn from the survey result? So most of these people who liked the book didn't like the movie. At least 95% of people who go see movies will dislike the movie. No. At least 95% of people who read books will dislike. Who read books will dislike. No, that's too broad. Most people who dislike this book will like this movie. No, we don't have enough information for that. Most people who like this book will dislike this movie. That's probably our best bet because most of the people in that group like the book and dislike the movie. Which of the following ordered pairs satisfies the following inequality? Okay, so let's see. 1, 1. So I'm going to just plug and chug here. So 1, 1 would be 5 minus 3. That's 2 is less than 4. So 1 is good. Let's try 2 and 3. Then we've got 2, 5, right? So 2, 5 is 10. I'm plugging in 5 here minus 15. That's negative 5 is less than 4. That works. Right? Did I do that right? 2, yep. 10 minus 15. Okay, then last is 3, 2. So that's 15 minus 6 is less than 4. That's 9 is less than 4. That's incorrect. So it's 1 and 2 only. And that is C. All right. Next one, number 6. In the equation that A is a constant, if x equals negative 3 is a solution, what is a possible value of A? All right, so here's my thought. Let's see. Let me think about this for a second. So that means it's a solution. So ax. So I'm gonna FOIL this. This is where I'm gonna go with this. It's gonna be a squared x squared plus 6ax. I'm doing it like this. Okay, I'm going ax plus 3 times ax plus 3. I don't know if this is the right strategy. This may be too complicated. So I'm kind of doing that in my head. Plus 9 equals 36. I'm minusing 36 from both sides, and we got a squared x squared plus 6ax minus, and then 36 minus 9 is 30 minus the 3 is 27 equals 0. And then we can say like this, ax, we say plus 9 minus 3. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm factoring this. These guys will multiply to negative 27, and then they add to positive 6. So I know I factored this correctly. And we said x equals negative 3 is one solution. So that means for one of these guys, okay, if we plug in negative 3, like if we plug in negative 3 here, all right, negative 3 minus 3 times a equals 0. This means that if a were negative 1, that would be a solution. And here, if we have ax plus 9 equals 0, okay, and again, x is negative 3, a times negative 3 plus 9 equals 0. We know to make this work, a would have to be 3. So two possible solutions are negative 1 and 3. Let's see if either are there. Negative 1 is there. There we go. Right, negative 1. And this, we could even quickly plug it in and see negative 3, positive 3, 6. Yeah, it works. Okay. This is a two-part thing. Distance and density of planetoids in the inner solar system. Okay, so there's density and there's distance from the sun. It says the scatter plot above shows the density of 7 planetoids in grams per cubic centimeter with respect to their average distances from the sun. The line of best fit is also shown. So what it looks like here is as the distance gets larger, the density seems to drop. Okay. According to scatter plot, which statement is true about the relationship between a planetoid's average distance and its density? Planetoids that are more distant from the sun tend to have less. I'd say A is good, but let's see the rest. Planetoids that are more distant from the sun tend to have greater densities. No, right? The density is dropping. The density of a planetoid that is twice as far from the sun as another planetoid is half the density of that other planetoid. So let's see. 0.4 to 0.8. No, that doesn't seem right. That's wrong. That's too drastic. The distance from a planetoid to the sun is no. Okay, so we're good. And astronomers discovered a new planetoid about 1.2 AU from the sun. According to line of best fit, which of the following is, so we know the distance is that. What's the density? 1.2 AU. So right here, line of best fit is this guy. So it should be about 4.6 or something like that. Right? Because this is 4.75, so a little bit above that. I'm going to say 4.6. And there you go. On to question 9. So you see, I got to move fast, right? You can see how quickly the time is going down. Based on the equation above, what is the value of ax plus b? Oh, interesting. Okay, let's isolate ax plus b. So 9ax plus 9b minus 6 equals 21. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. We got 9ax plus 9b equals 27. Divide both sides by 9. We get ax plus b equals 3. Oh, sorry, 3 is our answer. That's right there at the top. Next question. Lanny spent 15% of her 8-hour workday in meetings. How many minutes of her workday did she spend in meetings? So 0.15 times, and let's convert, do it either way. 8 hours to 8 times 6 is 480. 60 is 480 minutes. This is a calculator, so don't do what I'm doing. But it's 48, 24. I'm just doing it mentally. It is 72. 72 minutes, right? They're asking minutes. Yeah. So, but in the calculator, you just do 0.15 times 480, and you can get it fast. A software company is selling a new game in a standard edition and a collector's edition. The box for the standard edition has a volume of 20. So S is 20. And the box for collector's edition has a volume of 30 cubic inches. The company receives an order for 75 copies of the game. And the total volume So 75. So we already know S plus C equals 75. And we know that the total volume of the order to be shipped is 1870. This is a system of equations straight away. So then it's 20 times the number of S plus 30 times the number of C equals 1875. Which are the following systems of equations? All right, so all they want is they want to know which is the right system of equations. I got it right there. So there might be some different modifications. See what they've done here. It's neither of these, because it's S plus C equals 75. These look wrong, but they're actually, one of these is right. Actually, both of these are right. So 75 minus S equals C. They just subtracted S from both sides. Now we got to determine which one of these two is right. I said 20 times S plus 30 times C. It's got to be A. Right here, they flipped the values. 30S. Okay, I'll go back and review that one as well. A customer paid $53 for a jacket after 6% sales tax was added. So after the tax. So it's 1.06 times some value. We want the price. This is the original price, right? And after the 6% sales tax, it becomes 53. This is a great place to use a calculator. We're just dividing both sides by 1.06. Even I'm not going to try and do this mentally because it's just too much. 53 divided by 1.06 equals 50. And that's it. Next. So Teresa's running speed and time. So look at that. That's her running, and that's her speed. Nice. Let's see in this miles per hour. Yeah, it's miles per hour, and that's time. Teresa ran a treadmill for 30 minutes, and her time and speed are shown in the graph above. According to the graph, which of the following statements is not true concerning her run? Now, let's look at this graph one more time. Teresa ran at a constant speed for 5 minutes. Let's see. Did she run at constant speed? It looks like she ran at a constant speed for 5 minutes. So I'd say that is true, but we want what's not true. Teresa's speed was increasing for a longer period of time than it was decreasing. I don't know. Let's see. Oops. Come on. Go back. It was increasing for a longer period of time than it was decreasing. I don't know if that's true because it's decreasing for this long chunk and this long chunk. I think that's not true. I'm going to go with B. Teresa's speed decreased at a constant rate during the last 5 minutes. Oops. During the last 5 minutes is true. So that's not good. Teresa's speed reached its maximum during the last... Oops, I accidentally clicked that. Teresa's speed reached its maximum during the last 10 minutes. Yes, that's correct. Okay. That's it. Wait, was there only one question? Yeah, it was only one question. Question 14. 45xx. Oh, they're all equal angles. Uh-oh, what's happening here? In the figure above, what is the value of x? Look, this is a quadrilateral. That means all the angles add up to 360, and they're all x. So we just got to solve this equation. Minus 45, minus 45. 360, that's 315, equals 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3. We don't need a calculator, but you can do one. So it's 105. It's 105, 105, 105, and then 45. Not 100, 105. There we go. If 50-cent coins were stacked on top of each other in a column, the column would be 3 and 7, 8. Oh, 51-cent coins. I was like 50 cent. 51-cent coins. The column would be approximately 3 and 7/8 inches. Okay, so I'll just write it like this. Here's 50. At this rate, which of the following is closest to the number of 1-cent coins it would take to make an 8-inch thing? Okay, right? So basically what we're doing is we're figuring, we could say 50 times x, which is the height of one of these guys, equals 3. So this is one way to do it, okay? So we divide both sides by 50, divide both sides by 50, and we get, there we go. And 3 inside is 3.875, but if you don't believe me, 7 divided by 8, so plus 3 equals, so 3.875, and then we're dividing by 50 equals like that. So each one of that. So now we say 0.0775 times what number? Now we'll call this n, it's not to confuse it with x, equals 8 inches. So it's 8 divided by that, right? 8 divided by 0.0775, which equals, oh, did it say approximately? Oh yeah, so I guess 104 or 103. Oops. Oh, so they only have 100. And let's think about it for a second. Like, does that make sense? It kind of does, because this is almost half at 50. So 100 would be about 8. I didn't even need to do all that math. I just realized that was a much easier question than I thought. Okay, so a minus b equals 12. I want to know the value of a plus b. So this is a system of equations. B over 2 equals 10. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. B equals 20. I'm going to sub it in here. So a minus 20 equals 12. A equals 32. 32 plus 20 is 52. Should see that here. All right, we can quickly check that. 32 minus 20 is 12. 20 over 2. Yeah, it works. It's 10. Oh, wait. Did I get it? Did I put it down? Hold on. Yeah. All right. Y equals blah, blah, blah. The equation above models the total cost in dollars that the company charges to a customer to rent a truck for 1 day and drive X miles. The total cost consists of a flat fee plus a charge per mile driven. When the equation is graphed in the XY plane, what does the Y-intercept of the graph represent in terms of the model? So this is Y is cost, right? And X is the miles, okay? And it's going to be something like this, okay? This is the point. This is how much the cost is at 0 miles. That's what the Y-intercept is. X is 0. So it means that there's that's going to be at 19.99. That's that Y-intercept. And it is a flat fee of 19.99. Yeah, it's just this one. It's that flat fee, no matter what. Doesn't change. Income and percent of total expenses spent on program for 10 charities. So on the y-axis is percent of total expenses spent on programs, and this is total income. So it looks like as the income is rising, not necessarily. I mean, the line of best fit shows generally a higher percent spent on programs, right? But I don't know if that's necessarily true because it's a little scattered all over the place. Let's see what the question asks. Shows data for 10 charities along with the line of best fit. For the charity with the greatest percent of total expenses spent on the program, which of the following is closest to the difference of the actual percent and the percent predicted by the line of best fit? Here is our greatest percent, and here's what it predicts. So it's like 92.5 minus 85, which is like 7.5. That's what I'm going with. This is a bit of a tricky problem, but I'm going to go with 7. Okay. Next one. Mosteller's formula, current formula. The formula above are used in medicine to estimate the body surface area in square centimeters of infants and children whose weight W ranges between 3 and 30 kilograms and height is measured in centimeters. Okay, now we're going to use the formula. Based on current formula, what is W in terms of A? So current formula, we're just going to isolate W. A equals 4 plus W over 30. Multiply both sides by 30. 30A equals W plus 4 minus 4 minus 4. So 30A minus 4. 30A right there. If Mossler and Carnes formula give the same estimate for A, which of the following expressions is equivalent to the square root of HW? All right, so we need to look at the formulas again. What they're saying is those guys are equal. So we're just going to set these two equations equal to each other. A is the same, so these guys both equal one another. All right, and then where they said, what did they ask for? Hold on, let me double check. And then they said, which is equivalent to, so they want to isolate this, you see? This is what they're trying to isolate. So multiply 60 times this side. And we get HW equals 240 plus 60W excuse me, over 30. Divide both of these by 30. 30 goes into 240 8 times. 30 goes into 60 twice. So this should be our answer. 8 plus 2W. Which is the same as this. They just factored out the 2. Let me just move this back up. It keeps moving down. So it's this guy. All right, next question. 21. Oh boy, my battery is dying, so I need to figure out what to do about that in a second. All right. Total protein and total fat for 8 sandwiches. The scatter plot above shows the number of grams of both. Okay, we got total fat and total protein. Got it. So as the protein rises, the fat rises. Cool. And total protein and fat for 8 sandwiches. The line of best fit for the data is also shown. According to line of best fit, which of the following is closest to the predicted increase in total fat in grams for every increase of 1 gram of protein? So 10. So as we're going up, let's choose 2 nice points on this line of best fit. So we got 10 grams and 30 grams of protein. So from 10 to 30, so we got 20 grams protein. And it goes up by, how much? Let's see. 10. It goes up by 20 to 50. It goes up by 30. So it's a 2 to 3. But let me see. I got to make sure we get the order exactly right. They're saying for 1 gram. Okay, so I should have written this down. So 20 grams of protein. And this is grams of fat. So for 1 gram of protein. So what is it? So for this would be 2 protein, 3 fat. So 1.5. 1.5. Okay. Next, we've got, I don't know what the question is. Hold on. Percent of residents who earned a bachelor's degree or higher. Yep, all of these states. A survey was given to residents of all 50 states asking if they had earned a bachelor's degree or higher. The result from 7 of the states are given in the table above. The median percent of residents who earned a bachelor's degree or higher for all 50 states was 26.95 of all 7 states. Wait, how's that value not there? Oh, of all 50 states. Yeah, I'm sorry. What is the difference between the median percent of the residents who earned a bachelor's degree of higher for these 7 states and all 50 states? So we just have to find the median for this. So 26.95 is the median for this, for the 50. And then for this guy, we got to go from least to greatest. So this is, I'm going to order them like this over here. So 19.5 is the least. Then I think we got 21.9. Then we got 25.9, right? 27.9. I think that's right. And then 30.1. 35.5 and 36.4. So that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. So 27.9, and we just got to take the difference. 27.9, and we got 8, 10, 5. You can do this on a calculator, of course, so don't do it like I'm doing it. So it's 0.95% right here. I'm going to have to see if there's a outlet around here. I'm at my parents' house. The battery's about to die. Oh, this won't work. Let's see. 1 second. I'm going to see if this reaches. Oh, I think it's going to reach. Yeah. All right. Lost a little time. It's all good. Let me clear the board. A cylindrical can containing pieces of fruit is filled to the top with syrup before being sealed. So here's my cylindrical can. And the base of the can has an area of 75. So this is 75 centimeters squared. And the height of the can is 10. If 110 centimeters cubed of syrup is needed to fill the can to the top, right? Following is closer to the total volume of the pieces of fruit in the can. So basically, if the base, we say base times height gives us the total volume. So the total volume is 750. And that means 110 is needed to fill to the top. So we just do a little subtraction. And it is 640. So that's how much fruit is in there. As long as I read everything correctly, right? 10 centimeters. They didn't change any units. Okay, good. We're good. Next. The function above models h in feet of an object moving above the ground t seconds after being launched straight up in the air. So just go boom like this, and then it's going to come back down. And it says What does the number 72 represent in the function? This is our constant. So what does that tell you? At time 0, it's already 72 feet. They're launching it from a height of 72 feet straight up. This is the initial height. That's it. All right. At time 1, it's going to be pretty high. Yeah, so it's not speed. It's just the initial height. All right, cool. Energy per gram of typical macronutrients: protein, fat, carbohydrates, kilojoules. Table above gives the typical amounts of energy per gram expressed in both food calories and kilojoules of the 3 macronutrients. Okay, cool. If X food calories is equivalent to K kilojoules, so that represents the relationship between X and K. So 4 equals 16.7. I mean, 4 times sun. There's some factor. So let's see. That's all they're basically saying. I mean, you're multiplying each of these by, I think it's like about 4.2. So kilojoules here. Let's see. So they're saying kilojoules equals, 4.2x. That's it right there. Because look, you can plug in these values for X for food calories, and you're gonna get and let's just make sure they're calling K kilojoules. Yeah. That's it. This guy. Of the 180 food calories in a granola bar, if they come entirely from P grams of protein, okay? P grams of protein, F grams of fat, and C grams of carbohydrate, which of the following expresses F in terms of P and C? So we've got... So P grams, so we're talking about food calories. So So let me write all this down. 9F, so it's 9F plus 4C plus 4C and 4P. 4C plus 4P equals 180. And what do they want it in? They want it in terms of P, and they want F isolated. So it's 9F equals 180 minus 4C minus 4P. Divide both sides by 9. F equals 20 minus, and then we can substitute out a 4. That's what they're doing, 4/9. And then C plus P. Right? Like, I just factored out the -4. Right, this is the step in between -4 C plus P, and then I divided everything by 9. So this is our final equation. And let's see, it's not A. I accidentally clicked that. It's this one. 20 minus that. Yeah, that one's wrong because they didn't change the middle minus. All right. Let me just make sure I got both of these questions. Yeah. 28 minutes, so we're almost at halfway time. And you can see we're way past the halfway point with the questions, but it doesn't matter because these are going to be much harder now. The world's population has grown an average of 1.9% since the year 1945. There were approximately 4 billion in 1975. Which of the following functions represents the world's population P in billions of people years since 1975? So this is an exponential function, and we're growing at a rate of 1.9%. And it's going to be, here's the starting point. It's going to be this. Because each year it's 1.9%. So at T0, it's just 4, which is 75. 1, it would be 19% plus what its current is. That's why you have the 1 here. And so on and so forth. 2, 3. And this would actually work. These are linear equations, which is totally wrong. And it doesn't even make sense. You're multiplying it by 1 year. At 1 year, it would already be to 5.19. Here, same thing. So it absolutely only makes sense for A. In the xy plane above, a point not shown with coordinates st lies on the graph of the linear function f. If s and t are positive integers, what is the ratio of t to s? So we want, so st, they're both positive, so it's in that first quadrant. So what they're basically saying is we've got this and this, whatever. Here's our line. Here's 3, 6. It's got a constant slope, right? And then this is some other point where here's ST, right? We already know the slope since it passes through the origin, because we could also say this coordinate is like this, right? So we could say that it's got a slope of 2 over 1. That's our slope. And they're asking what is the ratio of t to s. So in general, if we go up to, let me think about this for a second. If we go up by 6, we're again going over by 3. It's 2 to 1. T, and wait, what is t? T is 2 to 1 for sure. And you can even model it from this. They're saying what is the ratio of the y value to the x, the y coordinate to the x coordinate. It's the same as what you have right here, but it would always be the same. Right? If we go up 2, it'd be 8, 4, so on and so forth. All right, 29. Circles in the xy plane has this equation. Which of the following points does not lie in the interior circle? What we can do with this, I'm going to show you how to use this to graph it out. This gives us our center value. This gives us a center value of -3. Watch. 1, 2, 3. -3 and +1. Okay? Because it's x minus h, but so that's actually -3. Y minus k, so +1. And a radius of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's +2, right? So here's the outside of the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So look, you can already kind of get an idea of what this circle is going to look like. Once we know this, we can sort of estimate. We can sort of be like, look, the radius is 5. This isn't going below -4. This isn't going beyond 2. This isn't going beyond 6. Right? So you can see these things that we're making happen. This won't go beyond -8. Now we've got our boundaries. -7, 3. It's close. See if we can find any ones that break those bounds much more clearly. -3, 1. No, that's the center. 0, 0, definitely in there. 3, 2, 3, 2, definitely beyond. Do you see that? So we've already determined this is for sure beyond. So -7, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the only one that was borderline, but I guess it's around there. It probably is within it. 3. Let me just make sure for a second. 3, -3, up to, yeah, it can't go up to 2, 3, 2. Okay, cool. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, number 3. They're about to get easier once we get to the free response. We're almost there. So subscriptions sold year. The manager of an online news service received the report above on the number of subscriptions sold by the service. Okay, the manager estimated that the percent increase from 2012 to 2013 will be double the percent increase. Estimated that the percent increase from 2012 to 2013 will be double the percent increase from 2013 to 2014. So this is actually going to be half. How many subscriptions did the manager expect would be sold in 2014? So let's figure this out. So the percentage increase, we could say x times 5,600 equals, this is how I'm going to solve it, 5880. So, well, actually, let's do it like this. It's gone up by 280. So 280 divided by the original, 5,600. 280 divided by 5,600 equals, so it's gone up by 5%. And so we think the next year it's going to be half. They're saying this is double the next one. So the next one is 0.025 or 2.5%. So 1.025 times 5880 equals 6,027. So that should be our answer, 6,027. Here we go, free response. So now we're in a good position. We've done some good work time-wise, and these are going to be, the first few are going to be much easier. During the California Gold Rush, each ounce of gold was worth $20, and the largest known mass of gold was found in California worth 62,400. What was the weight in pounds of this mass of gold? So first, let's figure out how many grams Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ounces, excuse me. So this is 20. So we do 62,400 divided by this, right? So 62 divided by 20 equals 3,120. So that means this thing was 3,120 ounces. Oops, 20 ounces. And now we got to divide this again by 16 to get us down to pounds. So 3,120, because, right, we got to see how many of those go in there. And it's 195 pounds. We got to be a little careful with these because they're free response. We make a miscalculation, and we don't even know. But that sounds about right. You know, because 195, let's say, we can do the division again mentally as a gut check. So divided by 2 is 31200, and then take a 0 off, 3120. And then divided by 60, which is what we did. 16, excuse me. All right, let's move on to the next. Line T is shown in the XY plane below. What is the slope of line T? We're going to choose any 2 points and calculate slope. Slope is just the difference of the y over the difference of the x. So I'll choose these two, right? Because they both have, these fractions are easier to subtract and whole numbers and all that. So we'll do 3/5 minus negative 27/5 over 9 minus negative 6. See the difference in the y's over the difference of the x's. This becomes a plus. This becomes a plus. So this is 30 over 5 over 15. 30 over 5 is just 6 over 15. Oh, and that reduces. Divide both by 3. And it's 2 over 5. 2/5. And guess what? We can even verify this if you want. Look, we go 1, 2, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, actually, we could have done it that way. I didn't even think about it. So you didn't even have to do it algebraically. You could have just looked at it. The score on a trivia game is obtained by subtracting the number of incorrect answers from twice the number of correct answers. So if a player answered 40 questions, obtained a score of 50. So 2 times x minus 40 minus x equals 50. Where am I getting this from? I'm saying 2 times the number correct minus the exact number of incorrect, right? They just subtract the incorrect. What did he get incorrect? Well, the incorrect is what he didn't get correct, which is 40 minus x. And then we want to find how many did they solve correctly, which is x. You see how I just set that relationship up? And now all we got to do is solve. 2x minus 40, distribute the minus here and here. So it becomes plus x equals 50. 2x plus x is 3x. Oops. Minus 40 equals 50. Add 40. Add 40. Oops. 3x equals 90. X equals 30. And I would even double check it, right? Like, does that make sense? Well, that means you got 30 right, 10 wrong. 30 times 2 is 60. 10 wrong is 50. And we just verified that he did get 50 points, and that makes sense. Okay, let's see this guy. 100 degrees. Point C is the center of the circle above. What fraction of the area of the circle is the area of the shaded region? So all we got to do is just realize that it's a sector, and we know the percentage based on that angle. Over, what's the part over the whole? The whole is 360 if you go all the way around. And they said percentage, right? Let me see. Oh, fraction. Well, here's the fraction, but we got to simplify. So it's 10 over 36. Divide both by 2. And we get 5 over 18. And we can't reduce that anymore. And I think that's okay to have 4 digits. Let me see. Yeah, it's 5 over 18. Let's see what it says. You know what? Because this might be too big. Let me see if it gives me an error. It doesn't give an error no matter how. Well, I think 5 over 18 is right, though, but let me just double check. 5, 10, 15, 60, 0.3. Right, 0.3 times 15 and then 0.6. Yeah, that should be right. That should be right. Okay. Yeah, I just usually see fractions being only 2/5 or 1/3, you know, but I think that is acceptable. Okay, so if the order pair xy satisfies the system of equations of above, what is one possible value of x? So we got to solve the system of equations. So look, first thing I'm going to do, this is what I always do. I see quadratic, I'm just going to factor because that's usually going to lead us down the right path. I don't even know exactly where it's going to take me, but I can see that it's probably factorable, and that's going to give me a start. So this factors to x minus 2, which means, let's write it here. This is x minus 2 squared, and y also equals 4 minus x. And now we'll set them equal to each other. Maybe we didn't need to, you know what? Maybe we didn't need to factor, but you know what? I'm gonna reset on this. I think factoring actually caused more trouble than we needed. Let's just leave it for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set these guys equal to each other because y is isolated. So 4 minus x equals x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now we're gonna get everything over here. So we're gonna subtract 4 and add x. Subtract 4 and add x. Goes away, goes away. This becomes 0 equals x squared minus 3x, and these guys cancel out. And then we can factor x times x minus 3. So we got two answers. X can be 0 and x can be 3. But I want to test this because you never know, right? So when x is 0, okay, y has to be 4. So our pairs are 0, 4, and 3, 1. So I tested them in this bottom equation. Let's see if it works up here. X is 0, 0, y is 4. That's right. X is 3, 9, minus 12 is negative 3, 1. So they both are right. I'm going to answer 3 just for fun. We can answer 0 or 3. All right, 36. We got 3 problems. Let's see. We only have 15 minutes. It may seem like a lot, but these questions could take a good 10 minutes. We never know. Got 2 right triangles. Look similar in the figure above. Tangent of B equals 3/4. All right, let's read. I'm going to copy this down over here. Tangent of B, so tangent is opposite over adjacent. So, oh, and let me plug in all these others. BC equals 15. And DA equals 4. What is the length of D? So we want this length. I'm just going to put it in red so I remember. And we know, and it's a tangent of B, so opposite over adjacent is 3/4. We get any other values? BC, right? 15. And this is 4. We can also do, let me think for 1 second. So tangent of B is 3/4. So this is, so I'll write it like this. 3x, and this is 4x, okay? We know there's some value of x there, and then this will help us get to DE eventually. So 4x, 3x. Do we know anything else? This is a little tricky. Let me see. So then we know that 3x squared plus, oh, sorry. I'm trying some different things out to figure out what x is. So 3x squared plus 4x squared equals 15 squared, which is 225. So this is 9. So it's 9x plus 16x, which is 25x squared equals 225. So 225, I think it's 9. 225 divided by 25 equals 9. So then x squared equals 9, x equals 3. So I figured something out. So if x equals 3, that means this bottom side is 3 times x, which is 9. Okay. And this side here, well, I said it's 3, right? So this is 12. So that means this side in here, BD, must be 12 minus 4, which is 8. Okay. And again, the tangent of B applies to this too. So tangent of B, that means DE over adjacent 8 has to equal 3 over 4. So guess what? Cross multiply 24 equals 4. I'll just call it X. And X equals 6. Which means DE equals 6 right here. You see these are similar triangles, so it works. 9 to 12, that's 3/4. 6 to 8, 3/4. I'd say that was the hardest problem on this section. That was pretty tough and took a lot of random. I didn't even know exactly what I was doing there. Number of contestants by score and day. So day 1. Oh, I see. So they got 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, blah blah blah. This day, more people. Wow. So okay. Into the totals. All right, I have no idea what this question is. Let's see. The same 20 contestants on each of 3 days answered 5 questions in order to win a prize. Each contestant received 1 point for each correct answer. The number of contestants receiving a given score on each day is shown above. What was the mean score of the contestants on day 1? So they got 1 point. Okay, so day 1. So we've got 2 people, so we got 10. This is 4 points times 3 is 12, right? 3 people getting 4 times 3 is 12. And this is 2 points times 6 people is 12. And then 0. 3 people getting 0 points is 0. So we add these up and divide by 20. So 36, 46. 46 divided by 20 equals, 2.3. Ooh, I don't like it. It's a decimal, but I think it's right. 2.3. No contestant received the same score on 2 different days. Okay, if a contestant is selected at random, what is the probability that the selected contestant received a 5 on day 2, score of 5 on day 2, or day 3, given that the contestant received a score of 5 on one of the 3 days? So they must have received a 5, and they got a 5 on day 2 or day 3. And so day 2 or day 3, so 2 people here, 3 people here, so 2 or 3, and they definitely got a 5. So it's 5 out of 7. I think it's just 5 out of 7. Because it's 5, day 2 or day 3, the chance of getting a 5 there is there's 5 people that got it, right? And that or means we're adding them. So it should be 5 out of 7. This was brutal. Okay, so we got 9 minutes left, and that time can be used to check questions. So let's see. This one is pretty tough, so let me read it a little more carefully. And you should 5 questions in order to win a prize. Each successful received a point. The number of contestants receiving a given score on each day is shown above. All right, so 2.3 on day 1. I feel all right about that. 2. So it's 10 plus 12 plus 12, right? Plus 12 again, so 36, 46. Oh, I missed this. Shoot. You see that? I don't think I calculated this. This was another 2. So 10, good thing I checked. 10 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 2. It's 48 out of 20. Should be 2.4, 48. Oops. All right. Now that seems right. That seems, still a decimal, but I think I just missed that. So 10, 12, 12, 12. So you're multiplying the number of people that got by the points, 2, plus 2. So, wow. Almost got one wrong there for no reason. And then this one, no contestant received the same score on 2 different days. Contestant selected at random. What is the probability that the selected contestant received a score of 5 on day 2 or day 3, given that the contestant received a score of 5 on one of the 3 days? So the point is that these are unique. If 2 people that got 5s here, they cannot be included in this group, cannot be included in this group. Person here can't be included here. So they're all it's a unique 7 people that got 5s. So that's why I'm saying it's 5 out of the total of 7. I think I'm just gonna roll with it. I think we'll see what happens, and then whatever ones are incorrect, we'll review it. All right. Don't do that on the real test. You should definitely check your work. Okay, so it's good. So it looks like all of those are correct, and that was a close call. Definitely could have gotten that last one wrong. Hope that was helpful. That was fun for me. And so there we go. Practice test 7 is done. Next week, tune in once again for another live stream. We're going to start back. We're going to move back to practice test 5. Now, I know the SAT date's coming up quickly, so make sure you leave me a lot of questions in the comment section. Thumbs up if you like this, and definitely subscribe for more updates on the Khan Academy live streams for the SAT. Since I know next week will be the last week before your test, I'm going to see if I can throw in a few extra live streams as well to get you guys as prepared as possible for the math section. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.